Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, and welcome to part 13 of the Lord of the Rings Online. So we're pushing on with our questline in Bree, and just as I was heading out to talk to Lenglin, I passed Adzo's camp, and there's still a few quests here we can do, so we're going to join them now. Roger Hawkling.
I do not ask much of you.
Boars can grow quite large and dangerous. The boars of Bree have always been a source of food, and the ones here in the southern Bree fields are no exception. Adzo and the others have grown fond of one of my meals, boar's head stew. If you could help me gather the heads, I can make my delicacy and keep folks here well fed. Easy enough to do.
Will you let me speak my piece?
Winter will be upon us soon, and folk around here will need to keep warm. Those southerners keep looting the site here and taking the most important things that this camp has, chief among them blankets and pelts for keeping warm. I joined Adzo here because the pay was good, and hunting bear has long been my profession. Bear hides can be used for good blankets, but I can only hunt so many, and there is need of me to cure the hides. If you're willing, there are a great number of bears in a hollow just north of Outlaw's Haven. Outlaw's Haven is west and north of Adzo's camp. Get me some hides and we'll make it worth your while. So a couple of easy quests just to kill a number of boars and a number of bears. I can do that easily enough off screen. And Buckley Shepherd.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Hail, friend. I have news that will likely make you see the severity of our lives here. Adzo is a good fellow, trying very hard to keep us safe, and he has done a wonderful job with the meagre means he has left, but I simply know that it is not enough. These brigands encroach ever closer, and they will not leave us be. Already those knaves up near the old sweetgrass have taken tools and coin purses from the workers here, those who keep their fate in Adzo, and now Adzo puts his fate in you. How do you feel about helping Adzo see the worth of his workers? So basically just kill a couple of guys up at the old sweet grass farm. We can do that. I'll do those on my way back. I'm going to push forward anyway and talk to Lenglin here, and then also talk to Brandybuck at the Brandywine River. Celadine, or Celadine. And then we can come back and do the Adzo quests. So I will see you at Lenglin.
What can I do for you?
Aragorn has sent aid. Nazgul, 4 more were in Buckland. They rode swiftly to the east upon black steeds. I was foolish enough to stand in their way, and they ran me down. I will heal in time, but the riders have left a threat in their wake. That must be dealt with. I must ask for your help.
Would you do something for me?
In the Black Riders' wake, Crebine have taken roost. They are not the common strain from Dunland, but a breed I have not seen before. Likely these foul creatures keep watch on Buckland and the Shire, or at the very least me, since they have taken to staring at me in the night. While the Crebine may see nothing of interest, the fact that the enemy has eyes here is dangerous. If we were to blind these eyes, the enemy would not be as sure in directing its efforts. If you would dispose of the Crebine that roost to the southwest, just beyond my camp, even killing one Craban will go a long way towards blinding. Done.
Greetings.
Good, you have slain those foul birds. The enemy will not be nearly as sure in their efforts now. However, I still have need of your aid. I must ask that you do something in Buckland, as it was their horn call that alerted me to the presence of the Nazgul.
Might I take a moment of your time?
You say that Underhill is with Aragorn. I know of no Underhills. I was sent to watch over a hobbit named Baggins. I must assume the death of whom Aragorn spoke of. That he is safe is welcome news, for my fears are somewhat allayed. It was late in the night when I heard the horn call of Buckland. Running to the road, I saw the Nazgul leaving Buckland at a gallop. I tried to stop them, but they ran me down. I fear they have already found Baggins. The 4 riders passed eastward towards Bree. We may discover what they learned, if anything, at Baggins' home in Crickhollow. It is a cottage surrounded by a high hedge almost directly south-east of the Buckland Gate. If you learn anything there, return to me. What news you can bring me may help determine the movements of the Nazgul. Maybe we'll get to meet Fatty Bolger. But we will talk to Celadine, and then we can investigate Crickhollow. I finally got around to doing my traits and stuff like that. I was specialising in the bear form, but I don't really use it. I prefer the man form, so the red option is better. as well as working on putting our traits into action that we need to do. Come to the Buckland Gate, and there's more quests here for us. Sheriff Hop Hayward.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Join the Bounders. If you're wanting to travel freely about the Shire, you'll want to talk to the second sheriff, Bodo Bunce. See folk here in the Shire, they don't take to strangers much. A lot of queer folk trespassing through here recently. Now though, if Bunce lets you join the Bounders, then I'll wager you'll find a warmer welcome. You can find Bunce near Town Hall in Mickle Delving. That's a ways west to here. Good luck to you, stranger.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Hoy there, stranger. I'll warn you right now, you ought to stay away from the Old Forest. The beasts there are all riled up. They've even gone and attacked hobbits near the Old Forest tunnel. But hold on, you seem like the adventuring sort. Think you could lend us a hand? Us Bounders came up with a brew of sorts that dissuade most things from approaching. All you need to do is set up these jars along the road to the bonfire glade. It'll take a while for the smell to set in, so don't drop your guard in the forest, and don't breathe in too deeply. And a couple of quests to have. If they're around my level, I'll do them.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Trophies for the walls. My employer, Adso Haybank's Inn, is to be a blend of Bree culture and Hobbit sensibility. He asked me to employ folks to acquire items that might display the nature surrounding Bree to bring a lodge feel to the inn. I'm prepared to pay those willing to do some hunting for suitable objects. North and east of town, between the Brandy Hills and the borders of the Old Forest, you will find bears, boars, and wolves. Adso has asked me to obtain a bundle of coarse bear furs, pristine boar heads, and pristine bear corpses, and wolf corpses suitable for stuffing. If you will return these to me, I'll pay you well.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Hello, I see that you are a person who knows your way around the wilder part of the world, and so the offer I have for you will surely make your heart leap. I represent Adso Haybank, an enterprising fellow from Buckland with a grand vision, a vision of building an inn along the Great East Road. He dispatched myself and these men beside me in search of willing folk to assist him with his dream. I seek mushrooms found along the banks of the Brandywine River to the north. Mushrooms to fill and satisfy the belly with a bit of Shire hospitality. Be wary if you go though, for I have heard tell of slimy slugs and nasty vermin in the area. Would you collect some mushrooms for me? Easy enough quest to do.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Adso Haybank, my employer, aims to have fare to serve men as well as hobbits. Trumrick has people looking for mushrooms to serve hobbit fare, the envy of the Four Farthings. The fare of men comes from the bountiful boars and bears prowling the Bree fields. You should find the boars and bears north and east of the gates of Buckland, between the Brandy Hills and the borders of the Old Forest. Gather some meat and return to me. Easy enough, we can do all them quite quickly. And this is our infamous Celadine.
How do you do?
Hello, hello. You've come all the way here from Ballymun Butterbur. He is a sweet dear to think of us hobbits, so far away as he is. He must have heard about the troubles going on in the Old Forest, I imagine. If you're willing to help me on that score, there will be plenty to do. Of course we will.
Take a moment of your time.
Are you looking for work? Well, it's not much, but maybe you can do me a favour. I inquired about notes on the Old Forest from Farmer Maggot, and I still have not received them. Perhaps you would be willing to go to his farm and ask him where they may be. You can find Maggot's farm Bamfurlong in the Marish. That's the green hill country in the Shire. Cross the Brandywine River, cross the Brandywine Bridge and turn south on the river's road. His farm won't be far away. The Buckleberry Ferry would be faster, but the Bounders want no one using it for the moment. Farmer Maggot doesn't like trespassers, but he's good enough to sort when you get to know him. And now we've got loads more quests to do than we had before. So, I'll see you all back here when I've collected everything I need to get. Bear hide, wolf hide, bear head, boar head, wild mushrooms, meat. See you in a minute. And we get the last for our mushrooms. Now we can hand all these quests back in.
What can I do for you?
A meal for men, Ella Lily Pond. Adso will be pleased with this delivery. We will salt and smoke the meat, and it will serve as a centre of our food for men within the inn. Thank you for taking the time to collect this meat for me. Here, you have earned this reward.
Good day.
The envy of the Four Farthings. Trumrick Ragworth. Look at all this bountiful fare. You certainly held up your end of the bargain well, friend. I shall do the same. The ovens at the inn will smell like the finest ovens in all the Shire. This is a fine day.
What can I do for you?
And trophies for the wall. These are excellent samples. I'm certain that the taxidermist can make these into fine items befitting a lodge. Adso will also be quite pleased. Here is your payment and thank you for your assistance. At level 19. I'm tempted, and apparently it's better to change to dual wield instead of having a two-handed axe, so we'll see if we can pick up another axe and have dual wielding axes. It would be quite cool looking.
Stay and have some tea.
Another quest for us. I must say I never expected the outpouring of generosity we have received. Certainly we have paid for the services we have been given, but the harvest is so good that we have no means to transport our goods to Adso's camp. I must ask you a small favour. Just outside of Brandy Hall, to the south, there is a stable where I have seen Tolly Brockhouse, the local woodcutter, speaking with folks. I am certain that he will be willing to help. Could you speak with him and see if he can spare a wagon for the trip to Adso's? Let me know what he said when you are done. That looks like an easy enough quest, and actually we can now head to the Lone Lands if you want to. We'll wait a little bit longer. I know it's level 19, but we've still got most of the epic quests to do in Bree, so. But let's head to the Shire. Our first time here, so I'm not going to cut any of this travelling. Beautiful and restful place. And there's quests here, but I'm too high level to do them, so I won't. Oh yeah, I don't need to do them. I've just finished a chapter on the Fellowship entering Moria in the Fellowship of the Ring, and we're coming up to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. So a long way to go yet before we reach that section in Lord of the Rings Online, but it feels nice to be helping the Fellowship by defending Bree in the Shire. His house is actually just over here. Oh, sorry about your crops. New deed, the farms of the Shire, visit them. Yeah, we can do that at some point. This is Bamfurlong. This is where Farmer Maggot lives.
I've no chuck with strangers.
What now? More blasted strangers? Get off my... Oh, Celadine Brandybuck sent you. Well then, I should at least speak fair to you. She sent you to ask about notes. I sent those on a while ago with my son Rollo, his friend Dodric, and Wilmac Brandybuck, one of my farmhands. My son wrote those notes because so few of the hobbits around here knew the forest at all. He probably stopped off at the inn in Newbury just inside the Hay Gate of Buckland. Likely all three of them are busy carousing rather than doing their duties. If you look for them, I'm certain you can coax their notes from them. So I did a little bit of travelling about. Now to Buckland, it seems. I'll save you this journey and I'll see you there. And there's Wilmac Brandybuck.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
Farmer Maggot sent you, just what I needed on top of all else that's happened. As if it were not enough that big folk took everything that we had to deliver and that Rollo and Dodric went off on their own.
I'm sure it's a bother, but I could use your help.
Some men from around Bree came to Maggot's demanding food and got run off by the dogs. But as we, Rollo, Dodric and I, crossed the bridge, we were waylaid by big folk just like him, on the bridge. They made us take everything from our wagon and put it on theirs. Then they headed off east along the Great East Road, but not before giving a good licking to Mr. Maggot's own wagon. Now look at her, all in tatters. I know I was lucky to get away with my hide, but without the produce being delivered, my hide will be worth nothing after Maggot gets done with it. Dodric and Rollo ran off after the wagon and found the brigands' camp in between here and Adso's camp on the north side of the road. I'd appreciate if you get the produce back. Yeah, we'll help them. There's nothing wrong with helping hobbits. Their lands remind me of ours, where the Beornings come from. A simple folk, ignorant of the wider goings-on of the world.
Did you need something?
Just sell all our stuff while we're here. And again, since we haven't been here before, I'll keep this footage in. I think it's worth showing as much as LOTRO as we can. Ah, here's the hobbits we're looking for. Actually, none of them are the hobbits we're looking for.
Might I have a word with you?
The bears of the old forest have always been dangerous, but in the past they were not very aggressive and could be avoided. Now they are roaming all over the place, and many even come out of the forest to threaten Buckland if they aren't stopped. There's a tunnel through the high hay east of here. Okay, we'll take out your bears.
Can I take a moment of your time?
Hodrick Bracegirdle defeat bats in the old western forest. The bats of the old forest have been a minor annoyance in the past, but of late they have grown very aggressive and even dangerous. They could become a plague in Buckland, so we need to reduce their numbers before that happens. There's a tunnel through the high hay east of here.
Might I have
And
a word?
wolves. Wolves in the old forest have always been something of a threat to foresters and woodsmen, but they've recently become more aggressive. We don't want them coming into Buckland, so it would be best to hunt them down now in the old forest itself. And we go through the tunnel. I don't really want to do these quests, but because it brings us into the old forest and I want to check it out, that's why I'm picking them up. Tollybrock House.
Just a moment.
Trimrick Ragwood needs a wagon. I suppose I could spare a wagon and a couple of mules to shed a load towards the camp. Trimrick is a good fellow, and he will surely return them when he is done. With the trouble we are seeing in the old forest, it seems unlikely that I will have the need of all my wagons in the foreseeable future. Tell Trimrick that I will send along a driver, 2 mules, and a wagon by sundown on the mower. I should expect that he can have it back to me within a week, and if you're looking to help out around here, there's plenty to do. Yeah, like I haven't noticed.
Please stay a moment.
These are strange days. Most hobbits stay away from the old forest, but my living depends on it, and I've never had any problems till now. The forest creatures have all gone strange. I swear the tree roots themselves moved to trip me up, and now I sprained my ankle. I still need to collect some mushrooms, and they grow in the west part of the forest between Bonfire Glade and Bald Hill. Also, please bring in some lumber from my seasoning pile. The pile is to the east past the Bonfire Glade and a little south, and I need some sap from the old maple on Bald Hill, east of the Bonfire Glade. I'll gladly split my fee with you. Here, take my bucket for the sap. Thank you kindly. Lovely.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Tolly will help us. This is wonderful news. We will begin preparing the crates for loading and should get on the road by morning. We truly could not have done this without you, friend. Please take this. It should cover the cost of travel down a little more. I'm concerned for Tolly though. What trouble could there be in the old forest?
Stay and have some tea.
You have done so much. I think it is time to meet the hobbit you have been helping, Adso Haybank. You will find that he is a caring fellow with much on his mind. His camp is difficult to miss as the road is happening right along the roadside. You will travel east along the Great East Road for some distance, about halfway to Bree before you arrive. When you get there, should be welcomed. Thank you again, Runlina. Well, we've already met him, but... Now we pick up his produce pretty quickly. Now I'll see you back at the brandy box. Now we can give him back his produce.
Oh, woe is me.
Oh, you found the produce. I can't thank you enough. I had thought it lost, but now I have other concerns, Rollo and Dodric. Oh no.
I hope it's not a bother, but may I speak with you?
I'm worried about Rollo. After he and Dodric got back from looking for the brigands, they headed down towards Brandy Hall to speak with Saradoc, Dodric's uncle. They were none too happy and wanted to speak their minds on the job what the Bounders are doing. Now it's just possible he ran off with his friend Dodric on some lark. I wonder if you do me another favour and go over to Brandy Hall and look for Rollo. Brandy Hall is at the centre of Buckland, south of the Buckland Gate. Hopefully Dodric's uncle Saradoc, the master of Brandy Hall, will likely know where the boys have run off to. And the life of a Bounder, completing quests in the Shire, 15 of them. I'm sure we'll get that at some point. I'm just going to finish the episode here by heading to Crick Hollow and investigating it, finding out what happened. Where Frodo was pretending to stay when he fled from the Shire. That's quite a nice place. And Fredegar Bolger, we met him. Fatty Bolger.
Oh, gracious me.
What? Who? I don't have it. Oh wait, you aren't one of those Black Riders. I must tell you that I haven't been so frightened in my life. Did they learn anything from me? Well, those riders came busting into this house. Well, I had already slipped out the back way. Not a thing did they get from me. And thanks to Freddy, that's why the bell rang in Breeland, and we were able to scare them off. When the sheriffs came, they made me tell them about Frodo and the others going off to the old forest, but I didn't say a thing about the enemy's ring. Oh dear, I mean, what is that? It sounds like crows. Over here! They're sure coming close. Get behind me. Oh no, more are coming. Keep your head down. You did it! You didn't get all of them though. Some flew off into the old forest. I hope they don't come back. And return to Langland. But I'm going to leave it there for this episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. We managed to help a lot of hobbits, as well as meet Fredegar and push on the epic quest a little bit more. So if you can, please consider giving a like to the channel and subscribing to join me on this journey across Middle-earth. And I will see you on the next video. Take care and have a good day.